drawing inspiration from a statement by naval legend Chester Nims that leadership is about choosing capable people and enabling them to excel. The Kwara inclusion advocates have cautioned that leadership selection in the state must be driven by competence and inclusiveness rather than sentiment or identity politics ahead of the 2027 governorship election. This came after agitation for Christian governor for the 2027 elections is beginning to surface in the north-central state. This group says competence and inclusion, not identity politics, should guide leadership choices. At a 2025 press conference and mini summit in Ilorin, the group argued that while zoning debates continue, the conversation must expand to accommodate fairness, inclusion, and the capacity to govern. The convener, Tunji Adeyemi, stressed that the group's position is not rooted in religious agitation, but in the need to ensure political and social stability as the secession debates gain momentum. Now let's hear from some members of the group.
3 geopolitical zones, north, south, or central. A competent Christian with vision, experience, and character emerges through a credible process. Such an outcome would strengthen inclusion, rebuild trust, and deepen unity in the state.
For once, there must be somebody that will think holistically about Kwara. For once. But what I noticed since 1999 is that people prefer to just take care of their own immediate environment.
It shouldn't matter whether the fellow is from the north, of the centre, or from the central, or from the south. It shouldn't matter whether the fellow is Yoruba or non-Yoruba. It shouldn't matter whether the fellow is a Christian or a Muslim, provided is somebody who will really move Kwara seriously forward.
I mean, Biko, the group, they're saying that competence and inclusion should guide leadership choices and not identity politics. I mean, how valid is this claim?
Yeah, it is valid, and I like the point that Barrister Tunji Adeyemi made, that the group was not motivated by religious agitation, but they need to stabilize Kwara politically and socially as the next election approaches. And he made the point that a competent Christian candidate should not be structurally excluded if such a person emerges through an open and transparent as well as competitive process. To him, Kwara must not be treated as an entitlement or a turn-by-turn souvenir, but as a capacity to govern effectively under pressure. He admits that there is a big feeling of annihilation in different parts of the state, especially Kwara South. And he stressed that ignoring such sentiments could breed resentment and even insecurity. We agreed that the call for zoning of the next of the governorship contest to Kwara North is a fair one, but that competence, capacity should be the guiding light.
Yes.
In 1983, a Christian, Cornelius Adebayo, won election in Kwara, became governor of the state. That was when the old Kwara had some parts of Kogi.
Okay.
That the Yoruba-speaking part of Kogi and the Bira-speaking part of Kogi. That was 2 senatorial zones.
Okay.
Out of the 3 that we have in Kogi now. It's still possible for that to happen if identity politics is brushed aside. I think that increasingly the feeling is being promoted that a Christian cannot be governor of Kwara State. But this is what this group is pushing against, because Christians abound in all the senatorial zones of Kwara State. Even Ilorin, there are indigenous Christians.
Indigenous Christians
in Ilorin.
The capital.
Some of them are converts to the faith, for example. Ilorin sons and daughters who are Christians, there are some of them. And then Bukola Saraki zoned the governorship to Kwara South when he was in that contest against his father. And his father was bent on bringing his sister, Bemi. He decided to do what was popular by zoning the governorship to Kwara South. But even when it was zoned to Kwara South, to undercut Gbemisola Saraki and reach out to people in the Gbomina and Ofa, who also have considerable population of Christians and even Muslims, but there are more Christians in those areas. It was a Muslim that benefited from it. He gave the opportunity to somebody who was his commissioner. That is the man they call Megida, former governor Abdul Fatai. Abdul Fatai. Some call him Abdul Fatai, some call him Abdul Fattah. You know, Abdul Fatai is from Kwara South. You know, this is a Shau area. But there are many Muslims there. He is Muslim. He benefited. Yes. Now, what they are pushing for is a situation in which the system makes even Christians from Kwara State feel that they belong in the state and that this kind of opportunity can come to them. Is all, for me, this decision can only be made at the party level. The parties decide. You cannot force zoning on people. At the end of the day, it's still the decision of the political parties. If the political parties come together and they tell themselves, look, political choices from now on will not be based on religion or location or geographical location. It can happen. As I've told you, there are Christians all over the state. There are Christians. As you have the Fulanis, you have indigenous, even in Ilorin, you have indigenous Yorubas. They are Fonjas. They are there in Ilorin. Just as you have the Fulanis.
And the Nupes.
Yes. So, the argument then is, if it happened in 1983,
it can happen again.
Somebody was popularly elected. Why not now?
Happen again.
Why is it being made to look like, oh, it's a foregone conclusion, Kwara cannot be ruled by a Christian? No. It had not always been like that. It had not always been like that. Even when we had the military ruler, Bangwe was a Christian.
First governor.
Yes, Bangwe was a Christian. Georgini was a Christian. Probably the best governor in the history of the state. George Agbazika Ine. You know, a fantastic governor, military governor at that time. So that is the conversation being had now. But I also like the fact that Afenifere, speaking through Chief Lekon Alabi, saying, look, as we approach the elections, let's not promote what will ultimately divide us. Let's not harden the notion that there is a feeling that Christians must not be governor of Kwara. These are things that politicians at their level can have conversations again.
So that the Christians won't feel a bit marginalized.
The same way Nigeria allowed the South to have a shot at the presidency. You know, and Goodluck Jonathan became president. So these things are normally Goodluck Jonathan from a tiny community in Bayelsa, the smallest state in our country, became president and was popularly elected.
Exactly.
So these things can happen. The political heavy hitters, the decision makers, if they come together to say, okay, this is what we want, they can decide where they want
the pendulum should swing.
Yeah, to swing to. So this is my own take on this. And I agree that the perception of religious marginalization has to be handled competently, the right way, so that it does not then generate
into another,
the kind of bad blood that can lead to, yes.
I mean, the group is saying that competence should outweigh identity in choosing Kwara State governor. I mean, how do you weigh in here?
I'm very familiar with the dynamics of Kwara politics, and I feel for the group. I feel for both the people from Kwara North and then the indigenous Christians, who are about 30% or thereabouts.
Yes.
But the population of Kwara State. Even there's a church that was so popular in Kwara, ECWA. Ekwa,
okay.
So popular, and there's no major family in Kwara that does not have a member there. I think what's going to happen is this. Under normal circumstances, they should swing back to Kwara North. But if that should happen, all things being equal, the candidate will be a Muslim. All things being equal. There are always variables in any contest.
Yes.
All things because it will be a Muslim. But like Gideon said, if we cannot create room for the micro minority, because some are minorities, some are macro, they are so small that, as the Yorubas would say, if you throw up the hand fan 1,000 times, it's always land on the flat side. So there must be a conscious effort by the politicians of Kwara to let whatever they're asking for come about.
Now, what will make this political heavyweights
Three things.
down and...
In the case of Baba Adebayo, may so rest in peace.
Okay.
He was, at that point in time, the face of opposition in Kwara. He was so popular that the choice of Awolowo, Baba Josiah Adewoyi, was defeated. Olawoyi was defeated by Cornelius Adebayo. And he had a momentum going forward that would be almost impossible for anybody to stop him. We do not have that today. There's no candidate right now.
The backing of Saraki.
Yeah.
Because Saraki didn't want Adamata to come back.
Okay.
Adamata belonged to his own party. He worked against his party.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So those variables were coming for this to happen. But it's not impossible.
No, like it's not. It's not.
So it's not that they're making their feelings known. Because there are some states in Nigeria today that certain ethnicities or certain religions have given up. I'm from Ibadan. I'm from a majority ethnic nationality. So I can't tell you I feel what they feel. Because the same thing is happening in my own state. It will be very difficult for anybody outside the 11 local governments to become governor. You know, not impossible.
Except this kind of conversation makes it happen.
Yes.
You know? That's why I talked about Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan was a product of this kind of conversation. That, okay, let this thing go. The South have always felt marginalized. Let this thing go to them. Obasanjo was also a product of such conversation. After the June 12th, the military junta tried to pacify the Yorubas, the Southwest, by making Shonekon the interim president, saying that the opposition to their rule was largely from the Yorubas. But they didn't know that the Yorubas would not accept Shonekon. The Yorubas opposed Shonekon from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
You know, because they felt, no, he was not the person we voted for. Bring back the person we voted for. You know, so you cannot stop the person that we voted for and then go and bring a Yoruba man of your choice. Yorubas are too sophisticated to be appeased in that manner. So they refused to be appeased.
They called
and
him
the agitation,
names,
yes, they were mocking him, and all that. They were mocking him. They didn't accept him until Abacha kicked him out of office in November.
After 3 months.
Yes, November of 1993. So
it must
again,
be a conscious effort.
Yes, it has to be, that conversation has to be there.
Okay.
Look at what we have we've always had in Delta. Power has been rotated across all the
zones.
3 senatorial zones. You can imagine an Ishekiri man
2 terms
becoming a 2-term governor of Delta.
Uduaga.
Uduaga was a 2-term governor. And the Shekiris, I think that maybe about 3 local governments or so. I'm not saying this with finality, but I think about 3 local governments. You know, so compared to the dominant tribe, the Urobos,
yes.
But they made sure that he marched, they backed him. And later on it went to Delta North. Delta North, dominated by the Igbos, then produced the last governor, Okowa. Okay. So it's gone round, and each person spent 8 years. 8 years. So it's this kind of conversation that can make it happen. Yeah. But the point that they are making is, look,
competence.
If they are looking for competence, there are competent Christians across all the senatorial zones. Whether you are looking for indigenous Ilorin man who is a Christian, you will find one. Whether you are looking for a Christian from Kwara South, from Ofa, from Ibomina, you will find one. So that is the point. And they are saying, look, let's focus on competence and not identity politics, and not be focused on religion.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come after the break. This is Journalist Hangout.